What is up, Chosen E-Fam? You're here with Pastor Russ, Pastor Blake. We're excited to come to you tonight for week 3 of this installment. Make sure you tune in with us every single week. Until all this is done, we're going to be coming to you just like this, live like we are tonight. If you have any questions, concerns, prayer requests, make sure you stay connected with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Drop a comment, drop a like. Let us know you're here. Respond to some things. We're obviously going to be there contacting back with you. If you have any questions, please make sure you stay in contact with us, because until all this is done, this is how we're going to be coming to you. We're excited tonight. We love you guys. We're praying for you guys. And honestly, we're kind of excited. There's something that's new and fun about what we're kind of going through and doing with this season. And the technology and things like that is kind of going to be something we're going to be talking about tonight a little bit. Tonight, our scriptures are going to be coming to us from John chapter 12, verse 32. We want to jump right into it tonight. And this is what the word says. And I, when I am lifted up from the earth, will draw all people to myself. When I am lifted up from the earth, will draw all people to myself. The title of our week segment tonight is Hope is Rising. You know, right now, with everything that's going on, Jesus is being pushed now more in 2020 than he has ever been. With all of the technology and all of the advancements we have at our disposal, everything we have right now, Jesus is being pushed farther and farther. You know, and even to some people who maybe don't even believe in Jesus, they're hearing about him. Even if they pretend like they're not listening, they're not paying attention, they're listening to what's happening. Even right now, some people might have found this page by happenstance or accident, but they're listening to the word. They're coming now in a time when it seems like all hope is lost. They're able to hear Jesus in a way, or maybe I've never heard of him before, and this is the time when he's able to come to them in a new and real way.
Right. You know, and I think, I don't think it's an accident that the ways that we're having to do this and what's happening right now, it's Easter.
Yeah.
And it's a time of life. It's a time of hope. It's a time of, springtime when things start to bloom and to come to life. Sure. And we're living in a time when life is just at the forefront of our minds, because like you said, Easter is all about hope. And it's sad that we can't come and hang out with you, and we miss you more than you know, but I believe that in this moment, in this time, Jesus is doing so much.
Absolutely.
And I believe that we are in this Easter season. I think we're going to see the life-giving power of Jesus through all of this. Everything's dark, everything's bleak, it seems like, but Jesus is life. Jesus is light. Mm-hmm. And, I think that we've been praying, the church as a whole, we've been praying for, signs, wonders, and miracles to take place. And I believe sometimes, God's got to put us in a tough spot to kind of refocus us, to kind of rebalance us, and we get our mindset on him, and we chase after him more than ever. And I think, I'm all about the deaf ears being open, the blind eyes, being able to see, the dead being raised. Absolutely. I believe he can do it. I know he can do it. And I believe that, sometimes we may focus on that a lot, but I believe in this season we're going to see those things, but we're also going to see those hidden things. Suicidal thoughts, depression, a lack of self-esteem, and teens that cut themselves and they struggle secretly. I believe that the life-giving power of Jesus is going to transform their life in this, and I believe that we're looking for signs, we're looking for miracles, Absolutely. We're looking for all those things, but I believe that all the hidden things, I believe all the things that's been holding people back, even Christians, look, we all struggle. I struggle, Pastor Russ struggles, we all struggle, and I believe that this is going to be a time that we can look at God and say, man, I'm chasing after you more, I'm going after you more. God, I need your life-changing power in my life. Yes, I'm saved, I'm on my way to heaven, but I still struggle, I still come up short sometimes, I still have faults and things like that, and I believe that those things are going to begin to fall off as I draw closer to him, because all of this going on is kind of making the whole world nervous. Everyone's kind of on edge because we're waiting to see what's going to happen with this thing, because we can't just run from it. It's all over the world.
Yeah, that's true. And the title of this message, Hope is Rising, but if we could name it something else, something that correlates but also goes exactly with what you're talking about, and finding our focus. Right. We were talking about how right now it seems kind of bleak, it seems kind of problematic, it seems kind of scary, honestly, if we're real. Like, we're not ignorant to the world, not ignorant to problems. When we look at this season, in Easter season was a bleak, scary time. Right. Christians not knowing what tomorrow holds, their leader, Jesus, being persecuted for something that he didn't even do, taking his cross to Mount Calvary. I mean, it was a problematic, scary time. But just like this, when we fix and find our focus, after 3 days, Jesus was resurrected. He resurrected out of the grave.
Right.
And in this season where hope is rising, it's because when we find our focus, if you focus on all the wrong things, that's what you're going to harp on. Whatever you put in the forefront of your mind, just like the scripture is talking about, that whatever we've put in the forefront of our mind, that's what we're going to focus on. And when we focus on the wrong things, it's easy to become depressed, suicidal, anxious, things like that. So in the season, when you focus too much on what the media is saying, what the news is saying, what the statistics are saying, and I'm not saying that those aren't things that we watch and things that we just ignore, because obviously we're supposed to pay attention to the times.
Right,
but when those become our primary focus, it's real easy for us to lose sight of what really matters. And what really mattered in the Easter season and what really matters in our season today, where we're at right now, is where our focus is at. And our focus should be on Jesus. And when we focus on him, we get drawn to him. And the closer we get with him, that is when things like anxiety, depression, sickness, poverty, it all falls away. And I know that's difficult to think about in this season, but where your focus is, where your thoughts are, that's where your heart is also.
Right. You know, and the thing is with, piggybacking on that, sometimes God puts us through tough situations to see how we're going to respond. Who's going to be the main focus in our life when things when things go wrong? And and I've been guilty of, man, God, where are you at? Hey, I don't see you moving here, so I'm going to have to do something else. But in this time, it's so important that we stay focused, because here's the whole thing. All this sickness that's going around. Listen, we got the healer. We can give them the healer. With so many questions going on with, the economy and what's going to happen, and the world's pretty much shut down. We have the answer. We have the answer that can solve any problem ever known to man. And I believe that Jesus, like I said, this has not happened by accident in the Easter season.
Right.
God has allowed this to take place in the season that we are in, so that he can get our focus on him, so that we can understand the life-changing power that he provides, and that everything in this world is temporary. All the things, money, fame, prestige, material things, they don't mean nothing. Because Jesus, at the end of the day, it's either heaven or hell, and everything that you got in this life, you can't take it with you. So the only thing that we can really focus on and we can take with us is our soul. And the thing that God is most interested in is your soul. Is it good with you? Are you good with everything that's going on? Is your life? If something happened right now, and the sickness or whatever may take your life, take my life, your life, are we ready to meet Jesus? And I believe that God is trying to refocus us and show us that all the things that we think is important is not important. The only thing important is Jesus and him crucified, and where we lie with him. So,
and at the end of the day, our primary focus, I know that society teaches us about going out, getting a job, going to school, all of these things that society teaches us is what the norm should be and what prosperity really is. I'm not saying that some of those things aren't true. I'm not saying that we all should be bums and do nothing, because I think there's great benefits to knowledge and education and things like that. But in this season, where we're kind of made to slow down, our focus has to be Jesus. Not only for ourselves, but this is the season where in our slowing down, this is where our kindness gets to arise. This is where our joy, our peace, when we really find what really matters in our lives when it comes to friends, family, Jesus especially, and we're able to give that to others. The season's not just about you. Your life is not just about you. I mean, the Bible talks about that you were purchased with a extremely high price. What better thing could we do than live our lives for Christ? In this season, in this time, right now, I want you to remember that drawing near to Christ is obviously the first thing you need to do, but even almost as important, if not more important, that your neighbor, the person going down the street, whoever you come into contact with, they need what you have. And I know that in this world, it's easy for us to say, oh, well, somebody's probably already talked to them. They know about Jesus. What if they don't? This season, Jesus is looking for you to give someone else what you have. Be Jesus' life reincarnated in your life. He's looking for you. In this season, I saw somebody post on Instagram, you may be the only person that this people see. And you have to be the Jesus to them, because they may never, ever, ever, whether they die, whether they live till tomorrow, whatever it is, you may be the only opportunity. Jesus is using this as a ministering tool, that right now you're able to minister to someone who may have never heard Jesus. Yep. So in this season, drawing near to him first, and also reaching others is our main goal, should be your main goal as well.
Right. And just to say, think I've talked to my neighbors more in this time than I ever have before, because ain't nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for something. Everybody's antsy. Everybody just wants to get out. And, my wife and I, we were talking to one of our neighbors, and, and they were talking about, they found out that we adopted Canaan, and, we were talking about that, and they were just humbled by the fact that somebody would take the time to care for, and adopt someone else's kid. And that opened the door for, hey, a ministering tool, they know I go to church, but they were kind of curious, and they were asking, like, hey, what church do you go to, and things like that. And I was able to tell them in my, and hey, man, I'm a reverend, I'm a minister, I'm a youth pastor. Yeah. And we got on the subject, I was able to talk to them about what Jesus did on the cross. God has made it available to us to be adopted into his family.
Absolutely.
And, just those conversations, little things.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to listen to people. Yeah. And I believe that as we go forward in this season, we're going to get past this. There's no doubt. God's going to bring us out. And I believe that God is going to use this to save an enormous amount of people. And it will be part of the remnant that he is going to use for the last days. I've said that before. Yeah. And I believe that God is getting ready. God is sovereign. God knows what's going on. God knows everything that's going to take place. God already knows the end from the beginning to end. He wrote it.
Absolutely.
We know.
Yeah.
We've read the end of the book.
Yep.
Christians, we have hope, but the world doesn't. The world's scattering, and they're worried, and they want hope. In this season, this Easter season, this life-giving season, the same power that lived in Jesus lives in us.
Absolutely.
Let's give it to them. Let's let them feel the love of Jesus. Just when you walk by your neighbor, look, you don't have to go and hit them over the head with the Bible and try to talk to them. Just start a casual conversation and listen. God will give you an opportunity to minister. And I'm encouraged. I'm excited. Like Pastor Russ said, this is cool. This is a cool way for us to start doing things. I'm ready to see you in person. I'm ready to hang out with you. We're ready to hug your neck, play some games, do some giveaways. I know the kids are waiting for some giveaways. Right? Bless God, I may even get in it when we get back. But listen, I want y'all, please be encouraged. Yeah. Please know that we love you. Please know, most importantly, that Jesus loves you. Jesus has you on his mind right now. Everything that you're facing, whatever your parents are facing, whatever you may be facing, whatever the enemy may be trying to throw at you, God loves you. Jesus is for you. Jesus died for you. This season, Easter season, is a proof of the love that Jesus has. No greater love than this, that a man would lay down his own life for his friends. And that's what Jesus did for us in this season. So Chosen E fam, we love you. We appreciate you. We miss you. And don't forget, like Pastor Russ said, hit us up on the gram, hit us up on YouTube, Facebook, drop a comment. Let us know how you're doing. Just check in and say, hey, we'd love to hear from you. Prayer requests, anything like that, you let us know. I promise you, we're here for you. We'll respond back to you, and we'll get with you. Chosen, we love you. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week.